Node Nation AMA. I'm Mascot. We're here with Gosu, with his financial advisor and partner over at Waifu Nodes, August Wolf. We're excited to have you guys here. Thank you for taking time to have an AMA and present what you guys have at Waifu Nodes and what you guys are doing different, and just taking the time to reach out to our community. So that being said, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves as far as what you do at Waifu and the other members of your team.
Wolf, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So again, my name is August Wolf. I'm a financial advisor, investment banker. I'm located down in Boca Raton, Florida. I specialize a lot in private equity, pre-IPOs, IPOs, SPAC IPOs. I trade stock as well. And I got in touch with Gosu a while ago, and he got me interested in the space. That's a little bit about myself.
We can drop some names. What are some clients that you've had? I know we had SoFi, some of the other ones.
Yeah. So essentially, I've my company and myself, we've raised money for SpaceX, Elon Musk's company, Kraken, the cryptocurrency exchange, Palantir, SoFi, and currently we're raising money for a Citizen X fund, which is essentially a fund. It's a private equity fund that invests in DeFi, NFTs, and it's just across the space of all crypto. We've done a bunch of other private equity deals as well, and they've done very well. The ones that we've raised money for, we've had SpaceX at 175. It went to $700 a share, still private. Palantir $6 to 38. SoFi $5 to $28. That's just kind of a couple deals that we've completed. And and my stock trading record is pretty good as well. If any of you want to check it out.
Yeah, so it's awesome. And as for me, Gosu, or you guys can, for some of you that won't know me personally, it's JC. I'm one of the lead founders of Waifu. Some of my background includes working at Twitch, working at Facebook, and now I'm currently at Amazon for, I think, about almost 2 years. So I have extensive big tech experience. Some of my other colleagues that are here, Gosu, also has extensive experience. He's a senior engineer over at Atlassian. We're all planning on moving over to Google. It's just kind of like, let's go to Google and fuck shit up over there. We got Gronk, we got Valor, Joe and James are twin brothers, amazing engineers. They can tell you more about themselves later on in our doxing, but since time is of the essence, so I believe that our experiences combined coming into the space is completely different, at least from what I've researched. And this is just the beginning for big tech engineers like myself, or not just engineers, but big people that have dealt with a lot of different private equity, like Wolf himself. Coming into this space is going to make a huge impact and actually make this sustainable, versus trying to reduce risk of new pockets trying to come into the space where there's just like, well, all of these rugs or whatever. But we'll get more into that later. But yeah, that's about us. Spartan Mascot. That's pretty much it.
Beautiful. So before we get into we'll probably have an abbreviated AMA time, because Waifu Nodes, very excitingly, is the first project to come to Node Nation with a whole slideshow. So if you look in the AMA questions tab, I linked to Google Docs. It's also in the general tab. We're going to follow along with Gosu as he directs us which page to be on. And if you're listening to the recording on YouTube, there will be a link to the Google Docs in the YouTube description so that you can also follow along if you're watching the recording. So that being said, we can go ahead and get that kicked off and take us through your presentation.
Perfect. I'll start it off. Welcome, everybody. This is Waifu Nodes. Use your stocks, not your socks. So, a little just going over some of the agenda. On slide 3, we'll start opening with some opening remarks. Slide 9, we'll start talking about our tokenomics. Slide 13, node creation. Then we're going to jump into the Waifu NFTs, our distribution model, basically our revenue model. Slide 27, our roadmap, and slide 33, and an opportunity for everyone here or anyone listening on YouTube of our seed investment opportunities. So I'm on slide 2, opening remarks. Fuck French devs. So a little bit about my backstory. I was one of the victims that felt suit against MT Gox. Jeb from Ripple sold it off to some guy named Mark, turns out to be French, and he rugged over 1 million Bitcoins. So I got my first rug experience back in 2014 of close to 3,500 Bitcoins. So over the space, I really disliked that. I didn't want to get back into crypto. I hated it with a passion. And then when I got back into it, I'm missing a lot of the points here, a lot of the story here, but when I got back into it, it just turns out to be a trend. And it's not really being like ethically, like to a specific ethnic group of French people. It's just an overall statement to what it means to me. It's just like, enough with the rugs, enough with the hacking. Like, this can be a life-changing space for a lot of people, and there's just a lot of malicious people that we need to start attacking back. It's not really to French devs, but it's just an overall statement, and that's what that means. Yeah. So why waifu? I'm on slide. I don't even know. I can't. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. On slide 5. So why waifu? Again, we are doxxed. Like I personally don't see a benefit, or not a benefit, but I personally don't see a luxury why it's like, oh my God, this team is doxxed. That I personally believe that should be the standard. I mean, if you're investing into SpaceX, it's freaking Elon Musk, like, and his team, who they are. Like, it just makes sense. We do come with a big tech industry leading experts like myself, Awesome Zaidi, August Wolf, Joe, James, you name it. They're going to start doxing themselves. This slide's going to get a little bit bigger, and you guys are going to see who our core team is. We are battle tested in enterprise software development across the biggest tech companies in the world. Like some of them are Google, Shopify, Apple, me, myself, Amazon, Facebook, Twitch. Awesome has been in also big tech industries too. And we want to combine all our decades of experience together to bring, to make this protocol a big success. And us being the fact that we're the first person to show an actual pitch deck just shows the type of caliber that we're bringing into the space. We think it's a standard. So if it's a standard for us, we're only raising the bar for everybody else to kind of peek over the mountain and look at us from the mountaintop. So another reason why waifu, if you go to slide 7, addressable markets, right, and annual growth. We did our market research. We know that the anime market currently, as it stands, is a $24 billion market, and it's growing 9% a year. So that means by 2018, we're looking at it to be a $48 billion market. The NFT space is currently a $50 billion market, and it's growing 11% a year. By 2028, we're looking at it to be an $83 billion market. The DeFi space is a $106 billion market with a 47% growth. So we're looking at a 2028 to be around a $405 billion market. So where does the NFT space, where does the DeFi space, the blockchain and anime come into place? Now, if we go to slide 8, we saw the mainstream success of Azuki. this anime NFT saw $300 million in sales volume in its first month of launch. It overtook Bored Ape Yacht Clubs and CryptoPunks. It's the eighth most traded NFT in OpenSea, and it's sold out after launch, like minutes. A little alpha. I even hate saying that word, a little alpha, but a little teaser is we are in progress of kind of talking to the founders of Azuki, some other big name Angry Pitbull Club. So we're in talks with them. Nothing solidified yet, but more of that will come. We want to bring so our initiative is to bring those people in the Ethereum network and bridge them over to this, because to this network that we're going to launch on, because let's face it, the Ethereum network just rapes you with fees of gas and whatnot. And we're not going to wait around for Vitalik to actually launch Ethereum 2.0. So let's move on to slide 9, or should I stop here and see if anybody has questions before we move on? Or what do you think, Mascot? Should I just continue?
Yeah, we can see if somebody has a question. It's just going to be easier with the style of this AMA. If you just want to raise your hand and come on up, versus trying to pick through the AMA questions chat.
Okay, cool. Anything so far from there, or should I just finish through? I think I should just finish through.
It's looking good. Yeah, if you want to just keep pushing through. Nobody's raised their hand. Nobody's typed up anything. So
awesome. So now we are on slide 9. Let's talk a little bit about tokenomics. Supply is going to be 5 million. 40% of that will be reserved in our rewards pool. 30% of that will be in our liquidity pool. 20% will be in the exchange, and 10% will be for the company wallet. 20,000 tokens can be held in a single wallet at max, so nothing over 20,000. If we go to slide 11, you're going to see our offerings. So seed investors will have the opportunity of entry at a 0.5, pre-sale at 0.8, and public sale at 0.1. Thank you for somebody. And honestly, this was honestly created by a community effort, by the way. But let me push through. So I'm on slide 12. So I've noticed that in a lot of projects, everybody just stacks up on these tokens, and then at launch they just dump. So we wanted to do a protection of stabilization. The sell pressure and volatility will be eased by liquidation limits. So we wanted to come up front, and we wanted to be upfront about everything. So we're saying that per week you can only sell 10% of your total max of what you currently hold in your wallet. So why? This prevents dumping, and it helps to stabilize our seed investors and any investor that have invested into Waifu, because those that dump usually hurt like 70% of the other people.
Yeah.
So node creation. Let me slow it down a little bit. So now I'm on slide 13. Node creation, quote unquote, certificate of deposits. You can earn Waifu by minting node NFTs. There will be a maximum of 10,000 node NFTs. They will only be available for trade or sale once we hit 10,000. Details on the marketplace and structure will be provided later. Per wallet, there's only going to be 100 nodes maximum that you can mint. They will be NFTs, by the way. So rewards will have a claim tax of 30%. So that means whatever your rewards, your unclaimed tokens you have, if you have 100 tokens and you want to clean them all into your wallet, 30% of that will go back into our ecosystem. Basic generic stuff. Rewards will drop to 15% APY at cap nodes. We're not going to do this right away. We're going to wait. There's going to be some buffer room, some bake time in order for everybody to get adjusted. We're not just going to pull the plug right away. Every quote unquote certificate of deposit or node after the 10,000, when we release that, will not be NFTs, will just basically be deposits, as we mentioned. And the minimum buy-in for that will be 20 Waifu tokens and will be at 15% APY. So that means that the first 10,000 original nodes created will be special nodes, which those special nodes we'll go into details about those later of what they mean and why they're special. But if we go to slide 15, you can see your node tiers and your rewards. So a lot of people, they're trying to find some stabilization, and they try to say decaying rewards is the answer. We believe different. We think by going from bottom up, we'll create buy pressure and we'll hit node capacity faster, because everybody wants to have their emissions, their daily waifu yields to increase. So tier 1, any node created between 1 to 3,000 will yield. For example, if you do a harem, it will be a 0.1 daily waifu yield. Once there's 3,001 nodes created, everyone will jump from tier 1 to senpai tier, and it increases on daily rewards. So from 0.1 to 0.13. And then once we have 5,001, it goes from 0.13 to 0.25. And you can see across the board of our different tiers of barriers of entry here: Dandori, Yandere, Sundari, and Harem. As I mentioned before, as nodes are created, the tier will upgrade and rewards will increase. Why are we doing this? Just to reiterate, we're doing this in order to entice buy pressure of the nodes. Slide 16, compounding. So if you say, hey, screw that, I don't want to do this 30% claim tax, this is crazy. Well, you can avoid that by compounding. So you can compound rewards to make or upgrade nodes. So if you decided your barrier of entry is 5 nodes, Dandori tier, and you have 5 waifu tokens in your reward pool that you have not claimed, you can use those 5 top tokens to upgrade your node from Dandori to Yandere. So each level to level up, it will be fast to go to a harem once you upgrade from Dandori all the way to harem. So each 5 tokens that you have, you can use and mint a new node going up. What happens to the node before, since they're NFTs, they will be burnt or just basically decommissioned, since we can't delete them. Just to avoid those questions. Tokens used to upgrade or make nodes will be redistributed into our revenue model. And as I mentioned before in the beginning in this section, is after the original 10,000 nodes have been capped, we will allow for the creation of certificate of deposits, which will have a 15% APY, which is better than what you will ever get in the real market. It's still and complain all you want, but if you find a way to make 15% APY stable, anything, I'll fire Wolf. Wolf will quit. The